Aaron Martin's, Lake Havasu. Hold on. I was getting the bird feathers on my level. Yeah, it was a great tournament. We got first place. It's a big relief. It's been a while since I've won one. I think the last time I won was Guntersville or Delta, but it's been a long time. I've had a lot of seconds since then, a lot. But I kind of surprised a lot of people when I talked about a bird today, about fish eating birds, which I've known for since I started bass fishing. I've kind of realized that they eat birds. They eat anything that hits the water. But that did help me. I probably won because I was observant and I watched, areas that had a lot of nesting blackbirds. And you can't see a nest, but obviously they're nesting back there. And there's a lot of coots that actually have nests on the reed clumps. They actually build the reed clumps up, just floating reeds, and then they have a little round nest and there's eggs in there. I even saw a lot of coot nests with little babies that big. But I'm pretty sure the one that spit, I had a bunch of feathers in my live well yesterday, so the 4-pounder I caught yesterday spit up a bird, bird feathers. But I've always been real observant to anything like that, hatches, constantly trying to see what they're eating. And that was, I think that's why I won this tournament, because I had one area that had a bunch of birds, and there wasn't a lot of fish there, but I caught four fish over 4 pounds in the last 2 days there. And that's why I won. And believe it or not, it was the birds that keyed me off. And once I figured out, I kind of knew before the feathers were in there. I kind of knew that they were eating birds, because there were so many of them. But yeah, it was stuff like that. It makes a difference sometimes, paying attention to that. But they definitely eat anything that swims that's small enough to fit in their mouth. They are a large mouth, and they do eat stuff that's as big, too big. Sometimes they die from it. So yeah, be observant and watch, anything that's happening, hatches or anything. That sometimes can help you, perform better in tournaments, but or even just fun fishing. But that's it. Strategies were, besides looking for the birds, I didn't really get on that. I kind of looked at that earlier in the week. I noticed that birds were nesting, and that's, at these river lakes especially, it's really important to pay attention to that. But also the fish were doing the same. And, I bed fished a lot in practice, but mainly I looked for fish in practice, like I kind of did at Guntersville. I'm getting tired. At the Delta, I mainly, because the water was clear enough, I could actually visibly see the fish at the right tide. Well, here it's clear all the time, so I actually visibly just ran through reeds and found areas that had lots of fish. Did a lot of graphing, found a lot of the habitat, caught fish off of that. But it really came down to flipping for me is what won it. I probably caught 3/4 of my fish flipping. And it's really hardcore flipping here, because you're flipping stuff like that and back sides, and you gotta drag them across all this stuff. And this stuff is really tough when it binds up. The green stuff's not as bad, but a lot of stuff I was fishing was dry, and the dry stuff was really rough. So you had to get them hooked, and you had to pull them in as fast as you could. I actually had to go in for two of the 4-pounders the last 2 days. I hung them in the reeds, and they're in dry reeds, so they just were sitting there hanging like 30 feet away. I had to go in and pretty much dive on them and pull them in the boat. But it was a pretty much flawless tournament, and good points, and I'm totally excited about going to the next one. Fired up, basically. Kind of feel like I'm on a roll and fishing really good right now. But Aaron Martin's, we'll see you soon.